Hi, what's up guys, it's your boy Patience once again. My bad for the defaults, but I've re-uploaded this time, and hopefully this live stream should play through a bit more to our liking. As you can see here, I've created my character, and I do hope to create a lot more characters, or a few more characters to put onto this page. To be with her, probably animated as well, which I do hope to showcase in just a moment. But at the moment, what you can see is I've created a new title screen. I've put more of an effort into this one because I kind of knew exactly what I was going to do with it. I wasn't really freestyling. So as you can see, I have Jade, and she's bobbing up and down on keyframes, and which were just simple basic keyframes. And then I've also animated her hair frame by frame, and the important part of this was to catch her on the loop, so it looks seamless. There is a slight lag in that, but that was to be expected of, because it was either that or animating more process to her here, in order for it to catch up with the loop. But seeing as the loop looks practically seamless, I decided to just go along with that. And in the process, we have her hair flow, which looks pretty darn fine, and which is done in 30 frames per second, might I add. And her bobbing up and down. I'm also pondering on the fact whether I will animate her skirt or not. As you can see, it's a very short skirt, and that is a skirt that she wears practically throughout my anime or my manga. Obviously animating it, I'm not sure if I'll put her in like hot pants, or something, but she is a chick that likes to wear short, very short skirts, but that will all be explained as I go through my work. But yeah, that's what I did. So that's the keyframes, and the new title screen that you can see. I've also got my presentation, my name presentation, my name presented at the top. Joining Sid, and the title of my work, which is Boobing Room, and etc. And on this, I do hope to showcase a few more of my other characters. But what I will do, guys, is I will take you in to see my working process, which I will try and get up for you right now. If you can just bear with me a moment. I thought I had all this stuff figured out, but it seems like I didn't. Okay, bear with me a moment. Just gotta fill. Here is actually what I've been working on, guys. So this is me actually working on my file, what you saw. So if I was to play it over here, you will see exactly how it plays before it's rendered. So it takes a minute before it renders up, and then so yeah, so that's practically how it looks before it's obviously rendered and showcased for all to see. So yeah, so and as you can see, it kind of looks like a like a start up to like a game, like one of those mobile games, the mobile app games. So I kind of like the idea of that theme. But what I will do is try and showcase a little bit of what I hope to work on, hopefully today. Should I be given that time to do so? Is that the right folder? I don't think that's the right one. This is the folder. So, oh, they're a bit hard to see. What's that one? Okay, so that was her in rough. I might as well show her off a little bit. So, I'll show these two characters off first. I'll move this one. This character here on the left, he's actually one of my characters for another project of mine, another manga, another anime. So yes, which is going to be a lot more action packed than Boobin Room, and I also want it to be a bit more graphic, a bit more towards the older audience, which Boobin Room I wanted to keep in subjection, age restrictions and limits, because everyone likes to have a nice time watching entertainment, etc. For this character, I hope to make that the project, which is my true project before I started Boobin Room about 10 years ago, or maybe longer than that, about 16 years ago. This was something that I was working on. I had to write everything down first, get to know my characters, the story, etc. Yeah, so this is practically, he's going to be one of the main characters to that. And I do want that to be aimed towards, obviously, more of the adults. And then Boobin Room, which is these characters, and this one here. So yeah, so there's some of the characters that I do hope to apply onto this. If I just lift him up a little bit, you can see he's supposed to be holding a sword. So that's how I usually draw before I get serious. I'll just sketch them down. I try to get used to their characteristic, how they might be feeling in that moment, in that time, the situation that they're in, maybe the scene, and I'll try to exploit that. And the same with this character. I'm not sure what to do with him yet, but I knew I wanted him to be in a secondary pose. Reason being is because it was based on Abundio at first, Boobin Room, so it's supposed to be called Boobin Room Abundio Saga, but I've changed that up and it's going to be based on Jade, which is a girl that bumps up and down on the left. And so yeah, so this is me wondering if I should put him onto the scene, onto this opening screen, and then I also have I'll show you the rough sketch of Jade. If anything, what I can do is I can turn all this off, and then if I can find her, I can turn that off. And as you can see, that's how it looks before I drew her up. So that was her rough image. So I just wanted to get an idea of what I was going to do with her before I started. And so yeah, so that's how that started out. Before it got to here, which was when I was a bit more comfortable with what I was going to draw. So that was that one. And then, just to showcase them a little bit more, that's the character I'm going to do. Yeah, so that's that character. And then, maybe we can say yes to that. Okay. That's the character I aim to put in. And then this character. which is around here, of course. So I was wondering if I should put these two guys on the title screen, and then we have that's her. Then we have this character. This is one of my other most important characters for Boobin Room. I may implement her onto the title screen as well after I draw her up. I was thinking going with more dynamic, in showcasing who they are, what they're like, what they're capable of, their skills, etc. But I think I'll save that for a later date. And here I have one of my other characters. Here I have one of my other characters who I hope to implement onto this title screen as well. So he's going to look something a little bit more like that. I'm not sure if you've seen him in any of my previous works, but yeah, so this is me drawing them up in rough, and the reason why I'm showing you this is because I can't wait to show you where I hope to take them and what I might do with them for when this title screen's done. So I want you to see what I'm working with before it is done. And yeah, and I went obviously to town with my shade. If I just give you a little, in-depth look. I gave her like a little hand watch, a little bracelet, whatever you call hand wrist brace, whatever. She's wearing a different logo, and yeah, so I kind of decided to go a bit further with this one, and I put a bit more time into it, and there's still more time that needs to go into it, might I add. So yeah, so I was pretty satisfied with that one. So now I can turn all this jazz back on. And yep. So that was a process of working on that scene, guys. So I'll get that out of the way, and then what I want to do is show you the updated version to the Windball that I was working on, which stems from the previous upload that I did. If not, I don't think it was yesterday, it must have been the day before yesterday, when I suggested to you guys that I may not, when I told you guys that I will not be working on any more uploads, at least for, I'll be posting like every month, and I do want to stick to that, but unfortunately I did slightly break the rules there. So I'm going to show you how it looks now, but it is going to slow down my graphics, and because it takes a lot of memory, it seems. Before I get that loaded up for us, in fact, before I go to get it loaded up, I might as well take advantage of this screen because it's what I created. So it's going to take up a lot of memory. It's going to take out quite a lot of memory, guys. So I'm looking at it now, and it's looking pretty awesome. So I'll turn this one off, and just get that prepped up. Yeah, it takes a lot of memory, so I think we're feeling that already. So I'll just get that loaded up now, and there it is. That's my new Windball, guys. So now, as you can see, it looks a lot more like wind, and I've also gone and added a lot more particles to it so that we actually feel like, you know what, I think I know what this is. I think it's because my output is quite high, which is creating a lot more stress, and I have divided screens and I'm on one computer, so that doesn't help either. But anyway, as you can see, my particles, they give off like these this glowing effect, which I thought would help towards that kind of anime kind of feel, with all the bloom and stuff. And as you can see here, I have a tornado. I have that kind of tornado effect beneath my my Windball. It's going to be pretty hard to see. As you can see, it's choppy. I will try to upload this again for you guys. So yeah, so I'll try and give you a little showcase of my Windball. As you can see, so yeah, so that's practically how it's looking now. Yeah, so this is practically how it's looking now, and yeah, pretty fresh. But I'm going to take you step by step through this one. So I'm going to take away this bit. I'm going to take away this bit. I'm going to take away this bit. And that's what we kind of have, which I call my first Windball, which if I play it, it's kind of hard to see. We're at low frames here. Over here it plays good, of course, but the output not so great. But I'm gonna upload it again, guys. So as you can see, it's I'm not sure if you can see it now. You won't be able to see it so well. But the effect is that it looks more like blades. Like you can stick your hand into that because your hand would be well, injured, probably chopped up into many small pieces, to say the least. And it also kind of gives a blurry kind of outframe outline, to make it look like it's really got like that strength of condensed focused wind, which I thought was quite neat, which is why I went with it, of course. So that was that Windball. Then we got the level 2 to the Windball, which looks more like that. It's more like paint, but it's wind. Again, I know it's looking very choppy. It's probably hard to see, sorry guys. But that's how that's looking if I play that one. And as you can see, it's kind of slowed down a bit. It's not as fast as the little ball. It's not as refined, and technically not as profound, etc, etc, etc. Still pretty neat. In fact, what I think I might do is, I don't know. I was hoping that might have helped. I guess it did a little bit. But yeah, so that's how that bit looks. And you can just about make out the little tornado down there, spinning around. So and then obviously I've got the third ball, which is animated still roughly the same, and it's got its little deformations as it rotates, and this is where majority of that toon look is fixated, you know, just to keep things looking just the way I wanted it to. And my character will be sat atop this as he goes whisking around in whichever way that I choose to make him do so. It's not a unique idea. I've seen that idea used multiple times, which was quite disappointing for myself. But as I do like the concept and as I do like the idea, it is one that I will keep and hold on to and place into my work as well, guys. But hopefully I do hope to use it very differently and very uniquely to how I've seen this, I guess you would say, power used. So that's how it would look with the little ball in between. And also I'd like to most importantly forward that it's perfectly looped. So it's a loop that continues forever and ever, and you can't see that gap in between. So there's no friction, there's no skip, there's no jump. And this is how it looks with the second ball. And so that's how I got that speed feel, and then it feels even faster when you turn on the first one. But when you've got that transition of all three balls moving together, and you've got the effects. Also, there was something else I forgot to show you guys. And then you've got the tornado as well, which is that little bit there. So when that spins, it's like that, which is pretty darn neat. I had the first version to it, but I didn't like it, so I just updated it, upgraded it. But also, there was something else I worked on, and that would be this. It's the outer case to the Windball. So as you can see, it's a basic kind of structure, but it just gives that extra feel of wind, which I really liked and really wanted. And these little scribbles, I could probably make them into more scratchier scribbles, but I kind of like that. But looking at it like this, kind of there, I don't know, I'll probably make it more scribbly, maybe not. But then if you put it to the balls, you can kind of see what I mean about that kind of extra wind effect. And then as I turn them all on together, obviously you kind of get that kind of wind feel as it kind of shuffles all the air to the top of it, which obviously helps keep my character afloat. But also, when I go ahead and turn this on, now what we get is the that feel of wind actually elevating, pushing things upwards, which was the another goal that I tried to aim for and achieved pretty grandly, might I add. I think what I would like to do for the finished piece is actually have those particles kind of swirling upwards rather than just kind of floating upwards, which I was actually trying to do, but it wasn't actually happening for me. But in actual fact, what I was really satisfied with was the fact that I was actually able to get that kind of transparency where you can kind of see through the Windball rather than